Welcome to Sick Flicks. I'm Mike.
I'm Dalton.
And HEYA BOBBY!
Hey, Bobby!
HEYA BOBBY! This is our very special opening day special.
Yes.
Opening day special episode where we are celebrating baseball and with a couple of very, very sick flicks, which are The Fan
and Moneyball.
Welcome to the show.
My name's Dalton. And I'm Mike. My name's Dalton. You know, it's sick.
They come to worship a superstar, to brush against the glamour, and bask in the glow. They are the nameless, the faceless, and they are forever loyal. But what happens when the adulation becomes obsession? And the devotion becomes deadly. Robert De Niro, Wesley Snipes, The Fan.
All right. Let's play some fucking baseball.
Dude,
Let's go.
How hyped does that get you?
I know, that
listening-
trailer's unbelievable.
Just that little teaser trailer
the
is
thunder.
it's taken so seriously.
I know.
Like it's unbelievable.
As it should be. As it should be.
Thank you all for joining us here. As the intro stated, we are celebrating baseball and the opening day weekend, I suppose, or an opening day of the new 2026 season is about a week away. And
we're big baseball fans
huge.
here. Mike's decked out in his Blue Jays gear today.
Of course.
I should have. Didn't think about it.
I also brought a special gift with me, too, which I'll pull out in a couple of minutes that will help set up this week's episode, this month's episode. But yeah, we're going to start off with The Fan.
Yeah.
And, you know, dude, this movie is, I mean, we were talking about it off air. Like, we could probably do like 2 hours on this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not going to.
We're not going to. We'll keep it relatively chill for you.
This movie, between Dalton and I, was like one of the early films that we like connected on, right? Like we're like, dude.
Well, when we first, I still remember when we first had our first conversation about Tony Scott.
Yeah.
We talked. It was Last Boy Scout we talked about, and then I was like, you know what movie I fucking love is The Fan, and you're like, I thought like I was the only. I'm like, no, you don't understand how much I love The Fan.
It's such an absurd movie, and yeah, it was one of those that, you know, there's a few of them on the show so far where, you know, either I felt or you felt like we're one of the only ones, or if not the only ones, that think this movie's sick, and which is one of the reasons why we started this podcast called Sick Flicks, because we just, the only rule with this podcast is we have to think it's sick, and with The Fan, this was an easy choice.
Yeah.
Of course, if you've listened to the show before, you know both Dalton and I love to rip Tonys.
Yeah.
You know, we'll rip a Tony, you know, as often as possible. Dalton, of course,
I did it this morning.
Ripped a Tony
this morning.
And, you know, Tony Scott's just going to keep making appearances on this show. That's just what
it's going to be like.
It's what's going to happen.
We might, not joking, at some point, we might revisit a Tony because we have so much to say.
The revisit of Unstoppable. Or Last Boy Scout, you know.
Yeah.
Might do.
We could, because Last Boy Scout was like, it was our pilot episode.
Yeah, so we could revisit.
We could revisit.
Very easily.
Do it in the studio.
That's right. So So yeah, this movie for Dalton and I is like, a staple for us. And I think we've told the story on the podcast before. I can't remember, but this is a perfect time to give a little insight. So I ended up after one of our conversations about the fan, I ended up ordering the Blu-ray because it's some like Mexican Blu-ray of some kind.
And it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sick. It has a slipcover, the whole 9 yards.
Doesn't it look like a VHS? Isn't
it does, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the plan, what we did was we had to go to Toronto for work and to go pick up a couple of film prints. So what we did was Dalton came over. We ripped the Tony at like 10 in the morning, right?
Yeah, we started our day with the fan.
We started the day because neither of us had seen it on Blu-ray. At least I had never seen it on that.
And
quality.
if I recall, we listened to the baseball game on the radio.
Of course we did.
Yeah.
And because it was a little bit later in the year than this, but it was like May-ish. I think.
It was still early season.
And
we wanted to see if we could sneak into a game that was an away game.
It was.
Yeah.
So we end up scheduling the day so that we rip the Tony in the morning. Mm-hmm. We get to a movie theater to watch Challengers, which is a whole other experience.
Yeah, that could be a whole episode.
And then we hit this very cool brick and mortar shop that sells physical media called Eyesore Cinema, and so we hit that, and then we drove back, and that was like our day. So that was the first time I had seen it in probably 4 or 5 years. I think I revisited the film in 2019, 2020, somewhere around there. But it was super fun. Like there was a bunch of stuff on that rewatch that I didn't remember, which we're gonna get into.
Mainly the "Hey Bobby,
Hey Bobby."
We were doing that all day,
and still do it
constantly.
But I wanted to, just before we get into the Tony Scott and the Wesley Snipes of it all and the fan of it all, I wanted to set up a little bit. We don't have to talk too long about this, but I think it's important that we didn't just randomly, we're not just like, oh, let's do something for baseball and for opening day. Baseball for both of us is like a really big sport. And we both watch it.
Yeah, we try not to miss any games.
That's right. I mean, last night we watched the World Baseball Classic, right?
Yeah.
So, but the Blue Jays have been in my life. I don't remember a time where they weren't. Famously, my parents love to tell these kinds of stories, but this particular story where I wouldn't sit through Sesame Street. I wouldn't sit through like a whole episode. I was a pretty like.
But you'd sit through 9 innings, eh?
All over kind of kid, like brains moving a mile a minute, which not much has changed.
No.
But as a 3-4-year-old, I would sit and watch all 9 innings of a baseball game. I was just infatuated by it. I started playing organized baseball at 5 and played until I was 15. So. And for me, I love baseball. I love the twilight, playing at twilight and spring and summer ball was just amazing. I had a couple of amazing coaches, which I won't dive too deep into because it was the 90s, so things were a little different. But it's interesting how much the fundamentals is what is called in sports, specifically baseball, that if it's hammered into you at a young age, that they don't really go away. And once I started working at a summer camp, and I had been in film for so long, I hadn't really exercised those muscles before, and then all of a sudden you're on a baseball field, like playing softball at I only played 1 year of softball. I was a travel baseball overhand, because it was I didn't want to play baseball that didn't look like the Blue Jays. That was the big thing. So, but anyways, when I got a little bit older into my 20s, it was just like all of a sudden all those skills were like still there. Obviously they weren't they weren't at the necessarily the level when you're playing every day, but just the basics are still there. You know what I mean? Like if you threw me a ball right now, it'd be fine. You know what I mean? I could pop onto a beer league without any qualms, right? And I just played a lot of baseball. So, and it was a big thing with particularly the my grandfather who lived beside us. for most of my growing up years, and he was a big Blue Jays fan, and so was my dad. We pretty much went every year at least once, up until I was probably 16, 17 years old. So went to a lot of the games. I was at there, so famously, as if you're a Blue Jays fan, you'll know that they actually won the World Series back-to-back, which is a big deal. The second time they won it, they did this thing called Jays Day, where they just opened up the Sky Dome. It was called the Sky Dome at the time, and you could just go. It was just for the fans, and it was like you could just go.
You could just walk around.
And you could just walk, and they had all these games and stuff. You could run to first base. You could like throw. You could like.
And now they
kind of
do that with the Junior Jays thing.
The Junior Jays thing, but like this was like literally just open to the public.
Everyone can
and you
go
could just,
anywhere.
and it was just like a celebration of the Blue Jays game. And my dad took me, and it was like one of the greatest days of my life. Like I was 8,
Yeah, that
and
sounds fun.
it was so much fun, dude. It was unbelievable. So, anyways, long history, long way to say for me, anyways. Baseball means a lot, and I'm so stoked and happy and excited to talk about a couple of baseball movies. I'm not sure. I know you played as well, but you were.
Well, I played in a league. I played for my school team. I played for a long time. I grew up a Tigers fan because I'm from Windsor, right next to Detroit.
That was the only other stadium I had been to as a kid. And the one game that I went, there was a streaker on the field.
That's sweet.
My dad had to like shield me, and then I didn't realize it at the time, but then he told me years later. He's like, "Do you remember when that streak?" I was like, "No, I don't remember that." I was probably 6, maybe.
Yeah.
But I remember it was the old Detroit stadium. Too.
Yeah. Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, Tiger Stadium. Yeah.
And then my dad and I, about like once a year, we would kind of travel and go see a game in a different city. So, we did like Cleveland.
Sure.
We did New York, Chicago, just a bunch of them.
Sure.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And then seeing the Mets in New York was pretty
That's
big
cool.
too.
Yeah.
I've gone to a couple games in Chicago, but
Yep.
love going to games.
Love going to games.
Mike and I are going to a game opening weekend, and then another one in May.
Another one in May.
And then I'm sure I'll hit a couple more this year with you, with my buddy. It's
the
hard to
outfield,
stay away.
Outfield district stuff is
$20
$20
for a ticket.
It's crazy,
Come on.
dude. It's crazy. We did get real, quote unquote, real tickets for the opening day.
weekend.
Opening weekend. But the second game we're going to is
the outfield district.
It's so sick, dude.
Yeah, I know.
$40 for 2 tickets. Are you kidding me? Like that's insane.
But I did become once I moved, and the only way I could watch baseball was Canadian TV because I didn't get American TV anymore.
Yep.
So the only baseball I could watch was the Blue Jays, and then I'd watch them every day because I want to watch baseball, and I just became a huge Blue Jays fan because that's all I'm watching all the time. Hard not to root for them.
It's true, and that's
I never looked back either.
Never looked back. No, they had a pretty big drought there for about 15 years where they had like some ups and downs, like some ups, but mostly downs.
Yeah.
But really once like post 2010 when they got Bautista and they started building that team, once you got like when they went on their little like the 14, 15, 16, 17 seasons were really, really excited to create a lot of new Blue Jays fans.
Yeah.
And
as I'm sure this past year did.
Oh, well, I was going to say, so then you have a little bit of like they kind of had to get off that, like once they weren't, they had their couple shots there where they could have went to the World Series, and a couple of guys were getting older. All of a sudden, players go different places, and then they had this great farm team that had a couple of really big stars, right? So you had Vladdy and you had Bichette, and Biggio at the time.
Yes.
Those were like the three guys that were coming up, right? So
now we have one of them,
and now we have one. But we had 2 of them for a while, and they make their debuts in late 18 and 19, and it kind of re-energizes the whole city and the team, and it's always when you have big stars like that. It was a perfect segue into the fans.
I was going to say, so can you tell we're fans?
Yeah. When you have big stars like that, it makes the seasons exciting, and then the team starts to build, and they start to get better, and they had some really tough losses in the postseason, and then this past season, it's just been this past
not
season
only
was
did
one of the greatest.
Not only did they
seasons
win a game in the playoffs for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
Because before the play, we're like, I just want them to win a game.
That's right.
That's all I want to see is them win
Yeah.
a postseason game.
We got to
and
the
then
World Series.
Game 7 of the World
Game
Series.
7, and we were winning in the bottom of the ninth.
Let's. All right, let's.
Yeah, all right.
Let's.
But speaking of big stars, and like, so you can. I just wanted to, like I said, we don't have to spend a ton of time on it, but just setting up that
Why
you
we're
know,
doing this.
why we're doing this, and that we're pretty big baseball fans. We're the reason why we chose both of these films. Not only are they both sick, but they kind of show two different. There's two different sort of sides of things, right? You have the fan, which is absurdist. It's insane that this. It's I said we've said it before. We said it on the last Boy Scout episode. Tony Scott's never watched a football game.
Yeah, exactly.
He surely never watched a baseball game.
I will say he gets the rules of baseball a little better than he gets football.
Yeah. But it's insane.
But no one has ever played in that much rain ever.
Not even close. And we're gonna get into it. But and then you have Moneyball, which is it's definitely, I would say, it's on the sort of more prestigious, serious side of things. But it's so very sick. Like, that movie is unbelievable. And so this was we had this penciled in like months ago. We were like, oh, we got to do this.
Yeah, we've been dying for this one.
Yeah. So, okay, The Fan. Let's get into it. So this movie's directed by Tony Scott. It stars Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes might be our most talked about actor so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's made some appearances.
He's made some Money Train,
Demolition Man, Passenger 57,
The Fan,
The Fan. Yep.
He's all over this show.
He's all over. Well,
and Tony Scott might be the most talked about director.
Absolutely. So. And so at the time, I mean, this is we could do 30 minutes on how sick the steroid era was in baseball. We're both of the mind that it's awesome. That whole era is awesome.
Yeah, we're not against those guys.
Steroids. We don't hold anything against. We show
Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, all you guys rule.
So this movie comes out in '96, which is, we're just getting into that, what would become that era, right? And there's some great documentaries which both of us love and have talked about a lot off mic, but about that era and how great it was. But obviously Barry Bonds is one of the most popular sporting figures around the mid 90s into the late 90s, and you can see definitely there's a parallel between Wesley Snipes and him. Anyways,
at one point he calls him Barry Bonds.
Yeah, he does. The setup to this movie is that Wesley is this highly touted star player of the league, and Bobby Rayburn.
Hey, Bobby!
Hey, Bobby! And he makes a move to the Giants. Robert De Niro plays dedicated, one might say obsessed fan of the Giants.
Yeah, would they say that?
And chaos ensues.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a very basic breakdown of what this movie is. Now, there's a couple of things I need to point out, okay? And it really hit me on this watch. It hit me the last time that we watched this film together, but really solidified this time. This movie, though not as sexual as Ricochet.
Dude, don't even get me started on this.
It's not as sexual as Ricochet, but to me it's as absurd.
I mean, it is oddly sexual too.
I mean, sure.
The amount of time, he's in the steam bath with Benicio del Toro, and they're playing "I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal."
Are you saying there is homosexual undertones
in a Tony Scott movie? I know.
What I mean is,
it's nowhere near as sexual as Ricochet.
I'm just saying the overt. Yeah, there is sexual subtext, sure.
Yeah.
But there's obviously in Ricochet, which we've talked about. Go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah.
It's an insanely absurd movie that exists. But I would say this is pretty much on par with that. When you start breaking down what happens in this movie and how it progresses, you're like, this movie is unhinged.
The very basic plot. If you don't get into any, it's a struggling knife salesman who's living in his van.
Knife to do business with you.
Knife to meet you. Knife to do business with. A knife salesman living in his van is so obsessed with the San Francisco Giants, and he loves a player so much that when he struggles, he kidnaps the player's son and threatens to kill him if he doesn't play better. That's the movie.
Yes.
And there's so many other things going on in this movie.
Yeah.
But that is How do you come up with something like that? It's so awesome.
It's so awesome. Well, what's interesting is like what I remembered from this movie, like watching it for, back in the day, was like, when you think of this movie, you think of Wesley Snipes, you think of the climax scene in the rain, right? There's a couple of scenes that like him at the ballpark and like the baseball stuff. Yeah. The thing that I didn't remember until till we rewatched it together was like, that stuff doesn't the first 20 minutes or so is a relatively like normal setup to a movie.
It is, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's trying to get tickets to the game. He's trying to reunite with his,
and they set up kind of a what I would call a sitcom type scenario where like he has to have this meeting with an executive or with a for his business, but he wants to go to opening day. Like that's a sitcom episode.
It is,
exactly. And then he like leaves his kid there to like go to the meeting, but then the meeting doesn't work out.
It's like Costanza's doing that, you know?
Right. This happens in like sort of the first 20 minutes of the episode of the film, and it's set up that Rayburn is like coming over and it's this big deal, right? And he even gets to talk to him on the radio, which is a funny little scene. Yeah. But there's like this air of oddity in the movie. Like there's like something like the tone is like kind of, it's odd.
It's just off.
It's the whole thing something's off.
Yeah.
And so
a little screwy.
What really kicks the movie off, and I don't want to get like too deep, like to make this movie like deep or anything, but like really what kicks the movie off and kicks De Niro's character off is that he essentially can't see his son anymore because he's like pretty obviously a pretty unhinged guy. Yeah. There's like, I totally forgot about like the knife montage scene where he's just like saying all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like to all the salespeople, and he's like you have the pervy guy who's just looking at like the like.
Dude, that scene's so odd. When he's like, you got kayaks.
You got kayaks,
and he's just like, I wrote down the line because it killed me. Where he goes, "You're asking about kayaks when I'm talking about knives? Are you out of your fucking mind?" He's just so insulted. Or he's like, "Do you have a tiny pecker?" Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yes, and they're like these tiny
little knives. Yeah.
So essentially, after this whole debacle with the opening day, he's supposed to take his kid there, and you get the idea that it's the last straw, right?
You get one chance to prove that you're capable of doing this,
and you're like, well, it's this guy's a knife salesman. He's obsessed with the giant, like very clearly, like pretty unhinged. The moment where he steps on his son to try and get a foul ball, you're like, what is happening right
you're like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, this guy is terrible.
The old lady is just judging him. What the fuck are you looking at, you fucking busybody?
So after the debacle is, he goes to the boss and comes back and the kid's not there. And he goes back, and the kids all, someone took, like that old lady that was there was like sort of watching them essentially.
He just like storms through the house, pushing everybody over.
Like basically is like commits domestic violence, like, and is like just super aggressive and barges into the room, locks the door, has this moment with the kid, but really it's over for him, right?
Dude, and the choice to mix that scene so you can hear the pizza in their mouths is like so aggressive. It's like you can hear everyone banging outside the door, but you just hear De Niro like.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, come on.
Well, it's interesting. There's this little moment that caught me too this time where he's like, I got you what is it, pepperoni and mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't like mushrooms.
And pick them off. Pick them off. Like he's trying to be a dad.
But he's not trying that hard.
He's not, because he doesn't know his kid doesn't like mushrooms. Yeah. Like it's really an odd thing. So once the kid goes down in the sense of like the kid's out of the picture, the movie really starts to like go like into its like unhingedness. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know, the obsession obviously with the Giants and with Rayburn himself, right? Because the whole thing is that he's having a slump, as you pointed out. Like Rayburn starts to have a slump, and he doesn't have his original number, and like there's all It like baseball players are super weird and superstitious, right? Yeah. But he goes into the slump, right? And Benicio, who plays like sort of the other star player on
Juan Primo.
He's having
such a good name.
I mean, it's unbelievable. He's having one of those like great seasons, right? And of course, what's the most obvious thing to do? Well, because Rayburn's the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
So what's the most obvious thing to do? Well, you gotta murder somebody, right?
Yeah.
You gotta murder him. And as the movie progresses, I don't know, like where was it for you where you were like this movie kicks into another gear? Like to me, it's when he like steps on the kid and you're like, and then into like,
Well, that's for
like,
me. It's
where you're like, what is
it's
happening?
that, and it's him like repeatedly trying to leave and then like getting into the game.
Yep.
And then like keep sitting back to checking his watch, and you're like, all right, he's already lost it.
Yeah.
You know, he's right now. He has shit that will help his son if he can keep his job, if he can prove that he's responsible. But he also like can't leave his son. It's like he has two terrible choices right here, and he's refusing to make either of them.
Right.
Which is an even worse choice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's that feels like the moment where you see his character like finally just going. I mean, I guess with the knife montage too. I think it's once the guy says he's not interested in his knives, and he immediately just goes like, "Fuck you," you fuck like.
There's like a switch that gets flipped, right?
Where you can tell he does not like to be pushed.
I mean, this is maybe really specific, but I noticed it watching. So I watched The Fan first, and then I watched Moneyball.
Yeah, I did the opposite.
And if you like sound wise, the way that Moneyball is mixed in terms of like how the ball sounds like off the bat and stuff is so different than the way I there's just, it's like a very like the way that they make it so big in Moneyball, it's like I can hear
the baseball hitting, because it's also they like cut out every other sound except that.
Yeah, whereas like they do a similar kind of sound mix in certain moments in The Fan, but they just didn't get the sound quite right in my opinion. It kind of sounds like a T-ball. To me, it's like tink.
To me, it sounds like when you see like those really old like black and white clips of baseball, when it's like when they hit it like
absolutely,
and I'm like, that's not like what modern baseball sounds like. No,
I think one of the, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, one of the reasons why we love this movie, and we've kind of like touched on it, this movie like genre-wise or like pace-wise is like all over the place.
Yeah.
Genre-wise, like the focus of the movie.
It's a thriller, it's a sports movie, it's a family movie, it's a kidnapping story, it's like everything.
I mean, that trailer, the teaser that we played at the top of the episode is a perfect example. Like it is made in earnest. You know what I mean? It is made earnestly, like as a real serious movie. I mean, it has Robert De Niro in it and all that kind of stuff. The way, if you look at the opening credits and it's all these old baseball photos and like this quote and stuff, it's like setting this up. But then also there's like, here's my little pecker, and like the two of them like show these two little knives, and you're like, what is this movie, dude?
I was thinking,
what is this movie?
I think when whoever.
My point is that it's one of the reasons why we like it. That's what I'm saying, is that it is so like all over in a way.
I had this feeling while watching it this time that it probably had a first draft that was a very typical sports movie.
Interesting.
And then it went through, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Not like typical, but like much closer to a sports movie. And then it probably went through a few versions. And then when Tony Scott was on board, it became a different thing. And then, you also have Snipes in there, so like, okay, we need to make it a little more, a certain way rather than like a straight. It can't be a drama or anything like that. Even though we have De Niro.
Yeah. De Niro in this movie is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy he did this movie.
But I bet you he signed on when it was something else.
Yeah, probably.
And he probably saw an early draft that was different. That's just how it feels to me.
Yes.
And I'm glad it is that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think when you add the Tony Scott sauce on it,
I know,
it makes it a whole nother level.
Dude,
because
the filters are crazy in this one. They're crazy.
And of course, I mean, we spent some time, I say facetiously, some time talking about the opening scene of Last Boy Scout in our pilot episode. In this case, he does it not in the opening scene, but he does it as the climax scene. And it's not a football game, it's a baseball game.
Yeah, still just the same amount of rain, though.
It literally happened last night, which is not, when you're listening to this audience person.
It's like a week later.
It's not last night, but it it rained. There was a couple of rain delays during the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
And we knew we were recording today, and like I'm like just bringing up like, dude, the rain in the climax scene is a monsoon.
Yeah.
It is insane. Like there's no way any baseball game is being played with that amount of
You're
rain.
not even finishing the at bat. You know, 'cause sometimes they're like finish the at bat, then we'll
finish the inning. There's 2 outs. Or something.
Yeah. We're not doing that.
Yeah. No. It's insane
When
how
he's
much rain
when
there
he's
is.
running around the bases,
yeah.
I'm like, it has only been raining for like 30 seconds in the movie,
and there's giant
it's
puddles.
Flooded.
Yes. I mean, as we do at Sick Flicks, we do skip around a little bit. So because I wanted to get to the climax and talk a little bit about it, because it goes to my point of this movie being so unhinged. If all the things that we have mentioned up to this point, you're saying to yourself, well, that doesn't sound too crazy. The ending of this movie is that De Niro kidnaps his son. They don't know where his son is. They're trying to find his son. They think he's going to murder him. And the way that it's set up is that he has to hit a home run.
Yeah, Bobby has to hit
hit a home run at that game. But then it's raining. So it's like they're going to call the game. They're not going to call the game. The game keeps going.
It's his last at bat.
It's his last at bat. And not only does he not hit a home run like over the wall, it's like going to be a close play at the plate because he's going for
an in the park
home run, right? And of course, as we set up, it is a monsoon of rain. He comes around. There's this giant like play at the plate, slide, water everywhere. You're out. You're out of here, right? And everyone's like, he's very clearly safe.
Yeah, he's safe by a mile. And everyone starts freaking out. And then all of a sudden, it starts to dawn on Snipes. It's so awesome, too, because he goes,
dude,
it's him, it's the guy. And then he just punches the umpire in the face right on the...
And there's this big brawl. He ends up stabbing
Bobby
through
the shoulder.
With a knife.
It's like a big-ass knife, too.
And then, you know what's crazy that I noticed this time is that whole standoff between the two of them, they put it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, there's a standoff with a guy with a gun, because then he gets a gun.
They do it in the football scene in The Last Boy Scout, too.
Yeah.
They put him on the Jumbotron.
Could you imagine that happening? They'd be cutting away to like
anything else,
like an Allstate commercial, like immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was the 90s, though.
Crazy.
You know?
And, okay, so then how does, tell me, so explain to me and, like, give me your thoughts on, like, how this movie ends. You take it from here. So there's a setup.
Yeah.
It's the two of them. He's been stabbed. It's raining.
Well, now, Bobby is demanding, for his son. And what do you want, right? What do you want?
Yeah.
And Gil. That's De Niro's character.
Yep.
He's still got a knife, and he keeps saying, like, I just want, he wants his respect and to appreciate what he's done for him, right?
Yep.
But he really wants to show him his best pitch. That's what he wants.
Which is insane because he was a catcher. He wasn't even a pitcher.
No, he was a pitcher. Coop was the catcher.
Oh, Coop was the catcher. Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Coop was the catcher. That's my... yes. So he wants to show him his best pitch.
Yeah, because when they played catch after he saved his son...
From drowning.
Because that also happens. He got creepy, and Bobby cut him off and said, okay, you got to go now. But it was right before he showed him his best pitch. So he's like, I didn't even get to show you my best pitch. But he's going to pitch a knife at him. That's what he's going to do. So he's standing there. It's still pouring rain.
Monsoon rain.
De Niro, Gil's in the umpire gear still.
Yeah.
He's surrounded in a circle by cops, all guns drawn, and he's got a knife that he's going to throw at Bobby. And Bobby's just, where's my son, Gil? Where's my son? And then right when he's about to huck the knife at Snipes, he just gets fucking mowed down in a hail of bullets. And then Snipes comes up just like, and it's almost like a tender moment where he's like, he's just like, where's my son? Where's my son? Curly, he keeps calling him Curly because that was the fake name he gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my son, Curly? Mm-hmm. And what does he say? A thanks would have been nice,
Yeah.
and then dies.
and then dies.
And then, of course, you get the Tony Scott, cops kicking in the door, flashlights through the mist.
Unbelievable.
Oh, side note, little Tony
Yeah.
Scott mental note I made watching this movie. When they're about to burst into that room and they're outside, did you notice something about this scene?
No.
There is paper falling from
Oh.
the skies. Makes no sense. And I'm like, it looks so cool.
Looks so cool. That's like the
feathers
the
in
feathers
True
in True
Romance.
Romance. Yeah.
But it's like, there's just like, they're not in an office or anything. There's just papers flying, and they haven't gone in yet. That's just outside. And I
That's so
loved
funny.
it. I was cracking up.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah. So then the cops save little what's his name?
I don't know. I can't
Sean?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
So they save Sean.
Yeah. And then
Curly, aka Gil, is dead.
is dead. And it's a happy ending for all.
Happily ever after.
I mean, dude, that's
what do you
just...
think he goes that season? What do you think his batting average is?
Yeah, after that,
Yeah, because he had a slump.
he did have a slump.
I don't know how deep in the season it is because it starts on opening day.
It starts
you know?
on the opening day. They're not in the playoffs. They're just
I'm
like
gonna say
in
it's
the-
it's
like
April
You think it's that early? I
because
think
it's pouring rain.
May. Maybe May.
Let's go May. Let's
I
go
mean, that's
halfway through May.
That's still you're still a long way off of the so I don't know.
And he was batting what 316 or something the year before,
Yeah.
or career.
314 I think.
314, something like that.
I don't know. Does he get you know
Does he
what?
get it back is all I'm
we
saying.
might as well say listen, I think he takes a week off.
Yeah.
He comes back, huge fanfare when he comes back, right? You know, his son throws out the first pitch of the game type
Nice,
thing. You know what I
nice,
mean?
yeah.
And it's like this big deal. And I think what ends up happening is they dedicate the whole season to Del Toro Juan Primo.
Which is such a great name.
So great. They dedicate the whole season to him.
Yeah.
I think they get to the CS, the championship series of that. But they don't quite.
They don't go all the way.
They don't go all the way. They don't quite.
They lose
make
the
it.
ALCS or not the ALCS, the NLCS.
NLCS. Yeah. They lose in game 6 or something. It's close. And it's a really great season. You know, it's very emotional.
Actually, he's going to be out. He's going to be out. He got it stabbed through the shoulder.
Right. So what happens is that like I said, he takes a week off. Then he comes back. He's not playing. He's in the
dugout.
in the dugout, right? And they get him ready for
the postseason.
And it's this big thing, right? And,
all right, I like it.
And then it's but they don't quite get to the ship yet, you know.
Yeah. There's always next year.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But
we know.
Oh yeah, we know.
We know.
So we kind of talked a lot about the different scenes of the movie, the way the movie's paced, all of the Tony
Mainly
Scott
the climax.
the climax of the movie, the amount of rain in the it's so much rain. It's the same thing as Hard Rain. We did Hard Rain on this thing.
Yeah, we love rain.
Love rain.
Yeah.
But my thought always is what a nightmare to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Give me what's your sickest scene? What's your where are you going?
Okay, I got a couple. I like when he's when he saves Sean from drowning and they go into the house.
Yes, love that.
And he makes up this persona, and then he starts giving him shit when they're playing catch. You know, Like, would you let me pitch to you? And he's not playing catch because Snipes is trying to hit it. Because it turns real sinister there.
Yeah.
And everything after that, him stealing the Hummer, it cracks me up when it just cuts and the kid's just in the Hummer and he's giving him a knife and everything.
Yeah.
Or Coop helping the kid escape and then he just beats him to death with a baseball bat. He just shows up covered in blood, wearing his Bobby's Braves jersey.
Yes.
And his Giants hat, but he's just covered in blood.
I really like the sauna.
Oh yeah.
Also, weirdly, 9 Inch Nails is in most of this movie.
Most of the movie,
which is insane.
And it's
a
a different
movie.
version of the song.
Yeah.
It's just it's mostly just them saying "I want to fuck you,"
yeah,
over and over again, and it's put at the weirdest times. It's you'll just see somebody running or whatever, and just you just hear Trent Reznor, "I wanna fuck you," and you're just what?
What is happening? Isn't this a baseball movie? I love the sauna scene. I love, this is a weird one because it's like somewhat a tender, I guess, but I like the setup of like opening day, the way they set up opening day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this is so
I
fun.
was getting hyped.
I was getting hyped, man.
I was like, it's coming up.
It's coming up. And then, of course, just because we talked about it, I'll say like the climax.
I mean, I didn't mention because it's a no-brainer.
It's
It is the sickest scene in the movie.
I mean,
it's one of the sickest scenes in any movie.
Hey Bobby,
Yeah.
hey Bobby.
The amount of different things he said, like because at one point he doesn't say "atta boy, Bobby." He says "atta way, Bobby."
Yeah,
and that one gets me.
I mean, there's so many sick lines in this movie.
Anything with Bobby,
in it is probably. I mean, it's just so quotable. There's.
I haven't even shown you my best pitch.
Yeah,
that one. I use that a lot.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really funny with no context.
Yeah,
people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Where does this sit for you in your Tony Scott?
I got the list here.
I thought you might.
I got the list here. Don't you worry. I will tell you, it is pretty high.
Yeah, it's one of those that, you know, it's one of those just like always begging a rewatch, you know. It's very it
is my number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Nice.
Out of 16.
Out of 16. Okay. I can tell you where I put, so I ranked my Tony Scott's as just my top 10.
Okay.
And I have it at 4.
All right, so we're pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
And you know what? Looking at this, there's a big one in my top 5. It's the only one in the top 5 that we haven't done yet. For me, that I feel like we got to do soon.
Is that Crimson Tide?
It's Crimson Tide.
See, for me, like, and maybe we dual Tony it soon, but I would love to do Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
I love Enemy of the State. I love that movie. That's the one just after. That's the number 3 on my list. I love that movie.
Oh, Enemy of the State's that high up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Enemy of the State is a little low for me. But it's like, dude, if it's low on my list, it's still like.
For me, Crimson Tide and Enemy of the State are 2 and 3 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crimson Tide is 2 for me.
Yeah, it's 2 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enemy of the State is 11 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth a rewatch. Is it still sick?
It is.
You
I
know?
mean, I watched it quite recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't
every
watched
one
it
of his
for a
movies
little
is
while, but-
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
it's really, like, they are.
I will say I did rewatch Domino recently.
Not as sick?
Secured it as the bottom Tony Scott movie.
Interesting.
I mean, it is sick still.
Do you like Taking a Pelham more than...
Yeah.
Interesting.
More than...
Domino.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Much more. I mean, there's a train in it, I know. And it's Denzel, and it's John Travolta, and
Yeah.
it's Tony Scott.
Pelham's 14 for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got some issues,
Sure.
but Travolta's sick in it. Fucking Denzel, you know, there's trains. And I mean, I would say if the original Pelham 1, 2, 3 didn't exist, it would be higher on the list.
Interesting. Sure. I think for me, Travolta's character doesn't quite get there for me.
Oh, it's so. I think it's so good.
But yeah, it's still a really cool movie. So, you know, one thing that is missing from The Fan is trains, right?
There's trains in the movie.
Where's he sneak trains in the movie?
It keeps Sean from escaping.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, because Coop is by the
train yard. He gets over the fence, and then
right,
that's when he gets to corner him again.
Yeah, it's almost like that. Like he
can't avoid it.
He used the same set as like True Romance, like Coop and
it's just in San Francisco, not Detroit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we wrap things up on The Fan?
Sure.
Take us out. Just give me your closing thoughts on how sick The Fan is.
I got a little story for how I discovered The Fan.
Unbelievable.
I was in college. My roommates and I, you know, we used to, let's say, partake in the devil's lettuce, maybe a little bit.
Sure.
And I had a buddy come over. I think I've described my college house to you. We had an open doors policy. Anyone could come in and out as long as you were an asshole. There was like 12 people there at all times in the house, just people coming and going. So one of our buddies comes in, and he's holding a DVD copy of The Fan. Okay, And he says, "You ever see that?" I said, "No." And he was like, "I just found it at a thrift store." He's like, "It's De Niro, Snipes, baseball movie. He's like a crazy obsessed fan, like kidnaps his son." I was like, "Yeah, let's
Dude, say no more.
let's throw that on." So all of us like locked in and watched it, and we lost our minds at how awesome this movie was. And then when he left, he was like, he just put it on my DVD shelf. He goes, "Yeah, you can keep that." And I was just like, "Sweet." So that's how I have that same DVD.
Same DVD.
And it became like in college, we would every once in a while just, should we do the fan? Should we do the fan? So we watched it a handful of times in college. And
it's great showing it to people too.
It is,
right?
and
Like,
watching their
reactions.
But like the thing was, he hadn't seen it either.
Right.
You know, or at least that's the way I remember it.
Yeah.
That he hadn't seen it. And we just like were crazy about it. We loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this one's a really important one to me.
Yep.
As are all Tony Scott movies, but
Absolutely.
this one has a little bit more of like a personal connection to it. Reminds me of, the good times in college.
Absolutely.
And everything. So yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, me too, man. And this has been sick. I mean, talking about, it's never a bad time talking about Tony.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And
This show should be called Tony Talk for real.
Tony Talk.
Because it's pretty much what we do.
To segue into Moneyball, which is where we're gonna go next. This is what I brought here. Why don't you tell the audience what I'm sliding over to you?
This is a 1994 baseball card.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's you?
Who's featured on there?
That looks like a young Michael.
It is. Yep.
That's dude. What team is this?
It's a team. So that's the team that I played.
I see an L.
An L, yes. So it's the team I played Mosquito and Pee Wee for. It's a little town called Langton.
Okay.
So
number 8.
Number 8.
What were they? The Langton what?
We're called Langton.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. And our only logos, like because we were a really like low budget team. Nice, dude. I see what you're doing. We were a really low budget team, so really the only things that had like we didn't even have like names on our back. Like you can see, they're like my name is not on.
Your
the back
name is not on.
It was whatever jersey fit you. That's like what your.
It just
jersey
says
was.
Kodak on the back.
Yes, it does. So no, on the so you can see that it's just like a plain white jersey with a number.
With a number.
And that's like the only thing that indicates that it was Langton was an L on the hat.
Yeah, it's a nice L.
And that's it. That's it. There's
we
were very low budget, and one of the reasons why is because Langton was it's a very small town, and so the reason why I actually played in Mosquito for 2 years before I was actually of age to play Mosquito, because in order for them to have a team, they recruited myself and my best friend at the time to go and play, and then his dad became one of the assistant coaches for those couple of years, and then his dad actually, when we got to actual Mosquito age, his dad took over as the head coach, and so he was our coach. He was our coach for all like the Mosquito and Pee Wee years. So. So that was that. This is 94. So I was. So this is my first official year. Like when Mosquito is 9 to 11.
Yeah.
So this is me at 9 in my first year. But technically it's my third year. I will tell you the first 2 years that I played, I was petrified. So you're playing
because it's all the older kids.
You're like as a 7-year-old, you're playing against 11-year-olds, and it's frightening. Yeah. However, what that experience taught me is by the time I was 9, and I was a small kid anyway, by the time I was 9, I was used to like how fast the pitches were coming, and I actually became a halfway decent player, like quicker because of those 2 years of struggling in the outfield and struggling at the at bats. I was a really good leadoff hitter because I was small. I was hard to pitch to. I was always a single double hitter, right? So, anyways, so I played with Langton because they had to draw from all these different towns to even just get a team team together, and that's where the ball. The only reason why I'm as far as I remember why it was because like that's where like the home base field was. So they were like, oh, we're just gonna go Langton. It was no bigger or smaller than the town that I grew up in. It was just like that's where it was. It's about 15 minutes away from where I grew up,
our
so,
listeners.
yeah.
I'll put a picture of that on our on our Instagram story.
Yes.
So the day this comes out, so you can check that out. If you miss it because you're listening to it later, just message us and I'll send you a picture of that.
So yeah, that's the fan. We're gonna move on to Moneyball, which is a very different vibe, but no less sick, right?
Yeah,
Let's do
absolutely.
it. Let's do it.
You're in last place, Dad.
Do I look worried?
Yeah.
This Friday, discover why critics are calling Moneyball one of the best movies of the year.
How long is Billy Bean gonna last?
He's proven himself right out of a job.
What the hell am I doing?
Brad Pitt is sensational.
We're gonna rethink the game.
This is the kind of decision that gets you fired.
Do you believe in this thing or not?
I do.
Based on the remarkable true story.
I've been in this game a long time. I want it to mean something.
Moneyball. Rated PG-13.
Moneyball,
That
dude.
trailer's hilarious.
It's very.
It's the music in the background.
I
man.
know.
It's like it sounds like a Disney Channel movie.
It does. It's like a TV. I chose this one because it's like a
TV
TV spot, like 30-second spot. But you're right. It does kind of sound cheesy. Brad Pitt. Jonah Hill in D-Jerp D-Jerp. So Moneyball, dude. This movie is a totally different vibe than The Fan.
little bit.
In many different ways. Can I just say I want to get this out of the way right off the top, okay? I don't want to get all hot and bothered about it, but I might get a little hot and bothered.
Okay.
About it. I'm gonna say very flatly, very plainly, in plain English, okay? I want everyone to hear. I want you to hear it.
Okay.
I do not give a fuck
Oh yeah, no. me
about
neither. Me
whether or not this actually happened.
neither. Yeah, I don't either.
Right?
It's a stupid argument that
I
people.
don't
want
to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I don't give a fuck. If you are not watching this movie because it's like, well, actually, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character actually didn't, then you know what? Don't watch this movie. Yeah. Don't watch it because I don't want to hear what you think about it.
It's like
okay?
Mark Shapiro all the time. When I didn't say any of that, they just made all that up, and I was like,
Yeah,
be stoked that they made a movie about, and you're a major part of it.
Just like I think this movie's awesome.
Because it is.
And I don't care that it did or didn't happen in this movie. So I just wanted to get that out there right away. There is
I second it. I don't give a shit.
No.
What happened?
No, what didn't happen.
Because that team played. That team was put together that way. I don't care who said what.
They won 20 games, right?
Yeah.
That happened.
That happened.
They lost in the playoffs both years, right?
Yep.
Boston won a championship 2 years later, right?
Yep.
All of those things happen. So what the fuck are we talking about?
Exactly.
So I just wanted to be very clear off the top. If you don't know or don't know anything about Moneyball, there is like people will bring up that this movie, quote unquote, isn't the way that things actually happened, and like so and so was mad about their portrayal about this, and actually that didn't happen. So that's why I wanted to just say that, like, both myself, I didn't want to speak for you, but now I can. Both myself and Dalton don't give a fuck about that. We love this movie exactly the way that.
If you were one of the people that Moneyball is about, and you get upset and you message us, you won't, but if you do, we will tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
absolutely.
I don't care.
Nope.
I don't even care if it's our boy Mark Shapiro over at the Blue Jays.
Nope.
You know, if you're like, hey, I'm like, go fuck yourself, bro. You know, you should have re-signed Bo Bichette and go fuck yourself.
If you don't know, this movie tells the story of Billy Bean, who's played by Brad Pitt.
R.I.P. By the way, Billy Bean.
And his time in the early 2000s with the Oakland Athletics, and where he brings on Peter Brand, and played by Jonah Hill, and they Pete, yeah,
that's Pete.
they rejig the Oakland A's kind of based on statistics and
Bill James.
Yeah, and there's like it is really interesting the way that Jonah Hill thinks about Jonah Hill's character thinks about the game and how it is different and how you can you're essentially what you're trying to do is buy wins and when it comes down to it, how to buy wins is how to buy runs, and that's how they because they have to do something different because in baseball, especially at that time,
and still today,
there is a pretty large gap between the big market teams and the smaller market teams, and the A's have always been a small market team.
I mean, now they don't even have a city.
They don't even have a city.
They're still playing. They don't have home base.
So and so they figure out an interesting way to sort of look at baseball differently, and it ends up working, and they go on this crazy winning streak, and that's it, and that's essentially what the movie's about how someone looked at the game differently. Now, what I wanted to say also off the top, and we're gonna get this will be I think a nice segue into a bunch of the things that's sick about this movie, is I think this movie is probably in the top 5 of the best edited films of all time. This film is a Disney movie, is a Disney TV movie if it's not edited correctly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I haven't read the script, but I have a really...
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can answer my question. Is the Billy Bean stuff interspersed in the script that you read? Or is
You mean like the flashbacks?
Yes.
I don't remember. I think so. I think it is because him talking to the parent. I remember that, and I'm pretty sure it's
because it feels to me as it's a much more thought about thing in the editing room.
I do feel like Sorkin
room,
in his scripts edits while writing.
Well, there's a lot of pieces to this. Sorkin's one of them, right? Where you have this legendary script writer, come on board. He's not the only writer, but he's a co-writer on this script, and you have this thing that's based on a true story. This is the film that he does right after Social Network, if I'm not mistaken. So Social Network comes out the year before. This is 2011. Same kind of concept where you have a true story, and
the scripts feel a little similar too.
Yeah. And then you have a couple of big stars, right? You have your Brad Pitt, obviously, is the anchor of the film. I think it's one of his best roles. I think he's phenomenal in this movie. And you have Philip Seymour Hoffman is in this movie.
He's phenomenal in everything he's in.
Yes. And you have, we'll say this is pre-Wolf of Wall Street, coming off of, he's still kind of known as he is known as the comedy guy, and this was, I remember for me, this is the first role I had seen him in where he is acting, and I think he's not only funny in the movie but really genuine and sweet and interesting as an actor, and it's going to be solidified in the following year where he is in a Scorsese movie and steals the show in a lot of ways. So all of this to say is that I think this is if I were to teach a class on editing, I would use this film as an example for a lot of different things. The parallel storylines that are going together of Billy's the way he was treated as a player coming up, and then how that parallels what they're trying to sort of change in baseball in the current year, I think is so smart and interesting. It gives a depth to his character. But I wanted to point out because this was edited by a guy by the name of Christopher Telfson. He actually received an Oscar nomination for his editing work here in this movie. But just a couple of, I would say he's one of the best editors in Hollywood, and definitely one of the most sought after editors in Hollywood. And you can see where he comes from, and how he puts things that he where he cut his teeth in the early years. He uses that in this movie to tell this kind of story, right? There's certain different techniques that he developed in the early years, in my opinion. And so I'll just read off some of the movies just to give some context. Kids, unbelievable film. The People versus Larry Flint. The next year he does a little movie called Gummo. Right? So he's in the...
I mean, all three already insane movies.
Right. He then goes on a little run of... I'm mentioning this movie because it's hilarious, but Legionnaire with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Right into Analyze This and Man on the Moon, which is incredible. Like, he does The Village... he edits Capote, which is actually the filmmaker that made Moneyball. That's another one of his films. So Capote is incredible.
I think he has another one coming out soon, doesn't he?
He has an interesting history.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't made that many movies.
No, but I think he's got a new one coming out.
Of course, Moneyball. I'm just going to mention True Story and Joy just because both, like, I really like True Story, actually. A little movie called A Quiet Place. He edited a movie, I'm bringing it up because we played it at the Highland, called Naiad, which was kind of a little bit of a hit with the Highland crowd. So those are the films that he has actually physically edited, is credited as the editor. He has been around for 30 plus years. And I just wanted to bring him up. And just as a little cool thing, I think I've mentioned it before, potentially on the show, but definitely to you. But I produced this film called Without Ward. Chris's kid, Ring, was in the movie and was actually is thanked in our credits and actually helped us out a little bit in the editing process and post-production, giving our director notes and stuff like that. And I did get to meet him a couple of times, and just an unbelievable dude and super gracious and was very helpful to our little movie that we were making. So, anyway.
While we're on the crew of this movie.
Oh, dude.
Bennett Miller, the director. So he has 3 feature narratives.
Yes.
He has Capote.
Yes.
He has Moneyball. And he has Foxcatcher.
Here's the thing about Fox. Can I just say, I don't hate Foxcatcher. Most people hate it.
Yeah,
I
do.
Yeah, I don't hate Foxcatcher.
I don't hate it. I just don't think it's good at all.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying I don't mind it.
His 4th movie is in development right now.
Okay, hit me.
It is A Christmas Carol. That's his 4th movie.
Wow.
Is that not the most random thing?
You give me a million guesses, I wouldn't have guessed that. What's your thoughts on Capote? It gets Philip Seymour.
I really like Capote. Yeah,
it gets Philip Seymour Hoffman his only Oscar,
he's
right?
So good,
and he's so amazing in it. But just interesting. It comes from the same filmmaker, same editor, right?
That's why I'm like, all these, like, they're all about real people, and real events, and like, Capote is, but like Moneyball and Foxcatcher are like alternative sports movies.
Yeah.
Right? Where like Moneyball is almost an anti-sports movie.
Yeah.
You know? It's a sports movie where it's all about like math and statistics.
Yep.
And
it's so rewatchable.
You don't I know, and you don't get to like, you don't really spend that much time with the players. Maybe like Chris Pratt a little bit.
Yep. David Justice.
Yep. But like, that's about it.
Yep.
And then
Hatterberg
and David Justice.
Yep.
And then they lose. You know, like, they don't even get the win.
Well,
and it's like, it's everything that you would know about a sports movie. This does the opposite. And it's about a coach. It's not about the players. It's about, I mean, it's not even about, it's about the GM and the assistant GM.
Yes.
And all their like back office dealings and statistics.
100%.
And it's unbelievably watchable.
There's so many. Oh, bless you. I'm keeping that in. I'm not cutting that
don't
out.
cut that. Don't cut that.
To your point,
yes.
This movie starts off with the team losing, and it ends with the team losing.
Yeah.
There is no point. The climax of the film is them winning 20 games in a row.
Exactly.
Okay? And yet, what I found this time, and I've seen this movie so many times, okay?
Me too.
I flicked it on, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably I'll like maybe rock about half of this, and then like maybe watch the half the next day. No,
you can't.
All of a sudden,
so fast.
It's an hour and 15 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did I like? Because here's the thing: every time there's a scene that's like maybe not my favorite, like not my quote unquote favorite scene in the movie or whatever, it's like there's a scene that's like right after that's like, oh, I gotta just watch this scene.
That, yeah.
Right. And I
do the same thing.
And then it just keeps happening, and all of a sudden they're on the run, right? Like
and then you're like, I can't shut it off.
You can't shut it off now. And then it like and then
you're like, well, now it's really just like the movie's gonna wrap up soon.
That's right.
So, yeah.
And it's just shy, like without credits, it's like 2:09.
Yeah.
And it flies by.
Yeah.
Flies by.
The movie honestly feels like it's an hour long.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what's crazy is that I feel like, even though I've watched this movie so many times, I feel like these scenes are longer than they are, but they're actually not long enough. Like Philip Seymour Hoffman is in 4 minutes of the movie, maybe.
Yeah.
But like there's like one of my favorite moments of the movie is after they've had this big like fight and he puts Pena in.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just the two of them walking down the hallway, and then
he doesn't
cowers. And he doesn't move. Like Billy Bean doesn't get out of the way, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman has to get out of the way, and then that's the moment where he hears the music and goes in and starts losing it on the team, right?
Yeah.
But that just moment of like Philip Seymour Hoffman in that moment. It's such a good character, and the movie is filled with those. It's same with the daughter. The daughter's in it twice, like in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
It's like
and she's great.
The guitars.
She's in a couple scenes.
But she's on the phone though. That's the thing.
Well, because she's at his apartment. They're having ice cream.
Ice cream.
They're
at the guitar shop.
They're at the guitar shop.
Oh, the airport.
The airport. Yeah, with Robin Wright.
But all of those
Spike
scenes.
Jones.
All she's not in that scene though.
Isn't she at the end of the scene?
Oh, maybe she's at the end of the scene. Yeah. But like all of those scenes are 40 seconds.
I know. Yeah.
Are a minute 15.
I love that airport scene.
The airport scene is great.
Where she's like, well, you seem worried. He goes, well, because you're going on an airplane. And those crash all the time.
Yeah. This movie's also really funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Who's Fabio? The shortstop for Seattle. Gets me every time.
I mean, there's some all-time moments, obviously, with this, you know, and we're going to talk about specific scenes in a second here, but like, I mean, we might as well just do it now.
Let's do it.
So, like for me,
it's the homer. It's the dinger for me.
That it really?
It's the dinger
for me. So that's your number one.
It's up there because like
really
I just think of the edits.
I know, and then the look from
the head turn,
from.
But it's like
Brad
that
Pitt.
For me. That is the most like hype moment in the movie. Both films do this thing, and that scene in particular. Both films do a thing when they're filming baseball that no other like sports movies do. I mean, most baseball games that aren't day games, it's dark, right? But when they're lit, you see everything. In both of these movies, just the pitcher, the batter, and the catcher are lit, and nothing else is.
Well, they use an interesting style in
and
this.
I love it.
Where they actually use a couple of times, you can see like, okay, this is a setup shot, right? It's like and it's in slow motion or whatever. But then they use actual footage of the games,
I know,
like intercut into all this other stuff. And a lot of times when the games are happening, you're seeing other stuff in the games. You're actually not seeing the games being played.
You're seeing like people in the stands,
and there's shots of them in the dugout, and it's
scoreboard,
and it's Billy Bean like working out and like all this other stuff. I mean, that's a great one for me. I just love. Like I can't tell you, like, if I could one time do this, I would die a happy man. Okay, the draft, like the deadline trade, where it's like he calls someone and then it's like they figure out that it's San Francisco, so he has to like he's like, well, let's deal them a pitcher so then they don't have anyone to go there
the whole time.
And then he like spits it out and like,
he's like, ooh, I want this one.
And then he's like, you know, he says to the secretary, you're like, get me Shapiro, get me this, get me that. He's like, and then
he gets the owner on the line,
the
but
owner.
he gets
he's like,
Pete.
Pete calls him and
tell him when I buy, I get to sell them back and keep the profit.
And then you just see like
the
fist bump,
the slow fist bump,
dude. It's like that, I love that so much. Like, I don't know, that's huge for me. So I'm gonna put that one as my number one. I mean, obviously, like it goes around social media all the time, but like the when I point to you, do you want to like?
Well, I
and, like,
I
because he
love
gets
that
on base,
scene.
That scene is
where he goes,
unbelievable. So funny, so great.
I always like the. If he's a good hitter, why isn't he hit good?
yeah.
You know, he's just like what? Or he's like, is there another first baseman like Giambi? No. If there was, could we afford him? No. Then what the fuck are we talking about?
I love that scene.
Yeah.
You know, where Jonah's in there for the first
throwing
time,
the names on the board.
throwing the names, and then like when I point, do you want me to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I point at you,
yeah.
yeah.
Who's that? That's Pete.
That's Pete.
Does Pete have to be here? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. The first scene where he goes to Cleveland and finds Pete is great.
Yeah. What the fuck happened in there?
Yeah. I love all the use of real footage in the movie. Of real. I mean, another weird link between the Fan and this movie is both of them are like real. Like they're not fake sports teams.
No.
Like
Yeah.
they're real
Unlike,
sports teams.
Like there's a lot of those movies where they just like we can't get the rights from the MLB, so
Yeah.
we'll
or the NFL or
the NFL.
whatever. Yeah.
Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout. What's the Any Given Sunday is another
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where it's so clearly like who the teams are, but they can't say them, right? So yeah, there's so many. I love. I mean, the end, the climax. How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Yep.
Where he's showing him the guy who homered and he didn't
Oh,
realize he
dude,
homered.
it's like
and then
gets you choked up, doesn't it?
It gets me so choked up, dude. And then he's like, and I love Jonah Hill's performance and the way that he says it. He's like, it's a metaphor. He's like, I know it is.
Yeah,
you know.
I
And
know.
then Brad Pitt's like, I know it is. But like, it is it's a metaphor for the movie, for his
everything.
character, for everything. Right? Is that sometimes you just hit a home run and you haven't realized it. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, from just on a personal level too. Like I think there's a lot of parallels to what we do in the cinema world to what was happening at that time in baseball. I see a lot of parallels and similarities where, like, essentially, if you're an independent cinema, we are the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Right? And we are the lowest on the lowest totem pole. Totem pole's already low because there's
one above everybody else.
But we are the Oakland, like any independent cinema in any city is.
There's big market teams.
There's small market teams.
There's 30 feet of shit,
and then there's
us.
us.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels to be. A lot of times, how it feels to be in the independent cinema game, in industry. And what we do is very similarly what Billy and Peter have to do.
We recreate it in the aggregate is what we do.
Well, I'm telling you, I spend a lot of times, a lot of my day looking at spreadsheets and numbers and trends as to what works and what doesn't work. And what we try to do is look at film differently, right? That's the only way that we can be successful. We can't open Super Mario Bros. On April 3rd and play it for 6 weeks and 7 weeks and make $20,000 a week and call it a day.
We can't.
That's not an option for us. It will never happen. So how do we keep the business going? Not only like afloat, but how do we be successful, right? And that I take a lot from. I've watched this movie many times since I started working for an independent cinema, and every time I see so many like parallels as to and it for me it's such a encouragement and boost to always be like there's this great. I mean, it was in the trailer. There's this great moment where Billy says, like, do you believe in this thing? And he's like, yes. You know what I mean? And that's the confidence. Like we were talking about programming yesterday. Like, is this the right thing to do? We have to be confident, like that it is a riskier choice, or it is a more interesting. Is the guy that throws weird the right guy to put in the 8th inning? Philip Seymour Hoffman's character did not believe that Hedberg was the right first baseman, even though they were telling him to, right? Do you not see the parallels that we have to deal with every day, right? We're telling you this is the right thing to do, even though it seems odd, right? And we hope that it'll continue and that people will still come out and that we're successful as a business and as a cinema. But it takes confidence. You have to look at things a little differently, outside the box, always thinking, watching, the zeitgeist, pop culture, social media, and I just see a lot of parallels with Moneyball and what we do, right?
Yep.
I don't know if I'm way off base, but
No, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. Dalton, you're a good egg. Sickest line? How can you not be romantic?
It's probably gotta be, right?
I think it has to be. I like "You're a Good Egg," like where because that's the way the movie ends.
good
Like
egg,
that's
Pete.
the last dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like when I point
When
at you.
you-
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so great. There's some.
I often say,
do I look worried?
well, I say that all the time.
I know you do.
But I take it a step further. I've never been worried in my life.
Yeah.
Never been worried.
Do I look worried? I said it to you the other night. Do I look worried?
Yeah. No, I always say like we can. If someone's like, oh, like we can't, I say no, but we can recreate them in the aggregate.
Yeah.
I say it all the time.
We can recreate it in the aggregate. Yeah, that's great. I mean, this movie is like, we try probably the most serious kind of type film that we like. It's not an absurd 90s action or sci-fi film.
Yeah. One battle's still weirder.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But this is a pretty earnest, like solid, like real, like not absurdist. It's not.
I mean, like this, it was nominated for Academy Awards.
It was.
I mean,
Yeah.
so was One Battle, but
So was One Battle.
yeah,
That was a bonus episode.
that was a
too.
bonus episode.
Yeah, it's not Crimes of Passion, is what I'm
not
saying.
Crimes of Passion, no.
Love
It's not-
Crimes.
it's not
Crimes
The Fan.
It's not The Fan.
It's not Ricochet.
Both all very sick movies.
Ricochet
right?
is also a bonus episode.
Yeah,
but-
it is. Yeah, or it was.
Yeah.
But this movie also is really sick, and I think it's worth. If you haven't seen it, even if you're not a baseball fan, I've heard this multiple times, not only on other shows, but other people in my life that I talk about with movies that aren't baseball fans love this film.
Yeah,
it is
because it's not really a baseball.
It's not
movie.
really and as we've mentioned,
You don't have to watch baseball in the movie.
Nope. And it doesn't do the thing that you think all sports movies do.
Yeah.
And like they don't win the championship, just so you know.
Yeah.
And they pretty much lose all the time except for one stretch in the movie.
And
So-
they've never really accomplished anything because
Nope.
they're like it's a miracle they're still a team.
And there's not a graphic that comes afterwards that's like, and in 5 years, Billy Beane won a championship
he
with
did
the
not.
Oakland A's. He did not.
He did not.
So I think it's extremely rewatchable movie. Like you could throw on this movie. For me, I could throw it on anytime and at any point in the movie, and I'd be pumped.
And you'll
be
sit
locked
there and
in.
watch for the rest of the movie.
I think it's perfect as a lead up to the opening day and opening weekend of the new baseball season. So I would highly encourage anyone to watch this movie. As I said, I think it's one of the best edited films. I think it's incredible. I wanted to point out that I wanted to ask you, do you remember the last shot of the movie? It's weird. That's why. Like, you'll remember the scene, but do you remember the last shot of the movie?
Yeah,
It's the very last shot of the movie.
Isn't it like the city? Like it's through the window, but then it like turns a little bit and it's just the city. But
Interesting.
but it's like the industrial area.
So it's something that it's what I talked about this earlier with how Telfson is pulling from some of his other stuff. This is like, I mean, we didn't even mention that Wally Pfister like shot this film.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's shooting like Inception, and then he's shooting this movie. Very different movies, right?
This movie looks amazing.
It does. This whole movie, this 2 hour and 14 minute movie that you've just watched, ends on a handheld shot inside of a car that is going in and out of focus between as it goes from the background. It's like jump cutting into different parts of the thing. And the last image, so the last line of the previous scene is, Pete, you're a good egg.
Yeah.
It cuts to him in the car. He puts on the CD of his kid, right, and is listening to the song. Just enjoy the show, right? He's just trying to like, you know what? Maybe I did do something well. It's just giving me chills just talking about it. The song is playing, and it's kind of jump cutting and like sort of from these mediums. And the last shot of the movie is this handheld close up of Brad Pitt's eyes. And it's shaky, and it's like, And it's like I said, it's going in and out of focus from an industrial thing to like him putting the CD in to like this wide. And it just kind of moves in like shakily, like almost like handheld, like you would if you didn't have any money or you're trying to just get this shot, and it just goes into his eyes as his kid is singing, and it cuts to black. That's the movie. What a choice to end the film that way. The whole movie is about Billy Bean. That is the whole point of the film. That is the anchor of the film, right? And that's how you end a movie. Like it's with his kid. Yep. He's trying to reconcile he wants a championship. He's not going to win it. His kid's telling him just to enjoy the thing while you have
Where
it.
It's
right?
like it doesn't matter because the whole movie says if you don't win the last game, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But he didn't win the last game, and it's like you changed baseball forever, and you don't even realize it.
No,
you know.
And I really wanted to give the flowers to the editing and the way that the choice of a big noisy, big time film like DP. Sweeping big shots with Nolan, blah, 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 is like this handheld, intimate shot. That's the way they end the movie. It's a great choice. The movie does look well. It's shot in a very, what's the right word I'm looking for? When you're, like the way that it's not budgeted, but like, when you correctly budget for something. Yeah. That's how it's that, but like with filmmaking. I like the way that there's not a lot of shots.
No.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Right?
It's economical.
Economical is what I'm looking for. Thank you.
But there's the one shot in this movie that I always think of is them unfurling the U.S. flag.
That's what's on the menu on the Blu-ray.
I'm like, every time I see that shot, I'm like, that feels like baseball.
It does.
You know?
It does.
Because you just get the green around them. You just get the lighting is perfect. Yep. I'm like, that's
epic.
The shot right there.
It is. And then you have Joe Satriani on the guitar. Yeah. If you don't know who that is, do a quick Google if you're a music fan. But man, this movie is just so good. I'll watch it at least once a year. Continue to do so. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, this movie's sick, dude.
It is.
It's so sick.
It is.
The Fan is sick.
The Fan is sick.
This is sick.
Moneyball's sick.
Yeah.
Fucking baseball is sick.
Blue Jays are
sick. Let's play some fucking baseball.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Well, this has been a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun talking about baseball movies, and I don't know, man. Next month we're gonna get unhinged.
Oh, yeah. Next month is gonna be weird. I kind of don't want to tell them.
I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I would have said it already.
Yeah.
It's going to be unhinged.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something a little different, and then
it's gonna be like we're gonna pick some controversial picks next week.
Yeah. This is like this is very normal.
This is our PG version.
Yeah.
Next week's our NC-17 version.
100%.
X-rated.
We are going to go for it next month. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you think baseball is just a little like family friendly and you're kind of bored of us talking baseball,
we'll grab you by the scruff next week.
I promise you.
Next month.
Next month, it's for the degenerates and the perverts out there. So it's gonna be fun. It's also Easter.
It's a special Easter episode.
It's a special Easter episode. That's your hint. So I'm super pumped about next month too.
Yeah.
Rewatching a couple of insane movies. So I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Right? Okay, well, this has been Sick Flicks. Thank you so much for listening. I've been Mike.
I've been Dalton.
And we'll see you next month.